Chapter 2. The Peak. We now enter the 1970s, a roller coaster of a decade for India. For politics, that is. Because as far as the economy was concerned, the shackles of protectionism had tightened massively. The Hindustan ambassador had now established itself as the car to have on the Indian roads if you had really climbed the bureaucratic ladder, which in itself was a quagmire. The 1100D, still built largely with Fiat parts, was the car for the middle class and for the modernists, the youth, and women. Aspiring and affluent Indian women were now very keen on having their own car but did not want the sturdiness and bulk of the Ambi. The 1100D was nimble and agile as far as the ambassador was concerned, but it was also lighter at the wheel, which meant navigating through the city was easier. In terms of ergonomics, the ambassador was almost entirely localized after the launch of the Mark II in 1962, which was just a very lazy facelift. Just a new chrome mesh grille and repositioning the indicators directly onto the sides of the grille. Team BHPians would also say a new panel for the dashboard. The 1100D was largely unchanged, but the collaboration with Fiat would end in 1972. Like HMPAL, also decided to terminate the collaboration and fully localize the 1100D. 1973 saw the Premier President, which was essentially an 1100D with the PAL badge on the grille and reversing lights beneath the tail lights as separate pieces. But naming the car president caused some negative stir. So in 1974, the president was renamed to what we all know, the Padmini. Now, to be honest, there is nothing really to talk about because both the cars now remain the same with PAL, decreasing the Padmini's power to make it more fuel efficient. Later, options like bucket seats, economy carburetor, various new colors. You really have to go through Team BHP to know the whole story, but I just can't be bothered to go into every single detail. It's just two same cars as before. Just get on with it. The same sort of feeling that politicians had because they loved the comfort being the Babu provided. People constantly begging at you for licenses, psychological warfare like senseless rejections, invalid arguments, your tea getting served while you're in your chair, your peon saluting you way too many times. But Mrs. Gandhi, in my opinion, to some extent, wasn't like this. Certainly not when it came to the Indo-Pak War of 1971 and, well, Maruti Motors Limited. But the story of Maruti deserves a separate video, and it's a very interesting story. A watershed moment not only for the Indian automobile industry but for India as a country. But as it is with every prime minister, it's the cabinet which slows everything down. 1975. Not only saw the Indian emergency, but a brand new ambassador, the Mark III. Another new grille. Indicators now became circular and an optional 1750 engine to power an optional factory-fitted air conditioner. This was essentially an enlarged version of the standard 1.5-liter BMC's B-Series engine, which had been powering the Ambi since 1957. PAL divides the Padmini range into two, the standard, which was essentially a base model with a black plastic grille and, if I am not wrong, no chrome hubcaps. The deluxe with, well, you can pause and have a look at the print ad from the time. Now you have to realize that foreign imports are also present in India, but either they had been bought through state trade auctions or, if you were really powerful and rich, paying the full import duties and have the car imported to your city. Throughout the 1960s, well into the end of the 1970s, both these cars enjoyed great sales numbers, which was made obvious because there was no competition from the outside, and there was no competition from the inside. HM never made a smaller alternative to the Padmini, while PAL never came up with a bigger sedan to rival HM. Both companies belonging to two of India's prominent business houses had total control. Both companies found it expensive to go through the hassles of purchasing new licenses. While the Indian population were buying their cars consistently because there were no other options. When you truly need a car, you get what is available. And availability and delivery in time was something that was not promised. Waiting lists stretched for 2 to 4 years, but indeed, you can get yours almost instantly or within a week. Provided you paid a premium under the table, of course. And that's the thing, you had to wait for everything. Cars, telephones, gas, food, everything. But all would change in December 1983. Because 1984 would prove to be a massive breakthrough in the Indian car market and a powerful start towards the Indian economy we now live today. This would be the year which would feel just like the Apple commercial from the same period. It will change everything. Stay tuned for part 3. If you made it to the end, I'd like to thank you for sticking. You are one of the lucky ones with a robust attention span and a keen, driven interest to actually learn something and pay attention. Only like and subscribe if you genuinely liked the video. Thank you.